A team of law enforcement officers from the St. Andrew South Police Division seized a .22 Diana G27 rifle during an operation on Glen Road, Kingston 13 on Tuesday evening. According to reports from the Hunts Bay Police, the operation took place around 5:40 p.m. During a search of the premises, the rifle was discovered hidden in the roof. No one was arrested in connection with the seizure, but police investigations are ongoing. The discovery highlights the continued efforts of the police to tackle illegal firearms and reduce gun-related crimes in the area. Authorities are urging residents to report any suspicious activities or illegal weapons to assist in their mission to improve public safety. The St. Andrew South Police Division continues to appeal for public cooperation as they work to make communities safer. Detectives from the St. Catharines South Police Division are actively investigating the shooting death of a businessman in Brereton, Portmore, on Tuesday afternoon. The victim has been identified as 62-year-old Joseph Lewis, a resident of Greater Portmore, St. Catherine. According to police reports, Lewis was attacked around 2:30 p.m. by an unknown assailant. He sustained gunshot wounds and was rushed to the Spanish Town Hospital, where he succumbed to his injuries. Investigators have not yet determined a motive for the killing. Meanwhile, the police are appealing to anyone with information that could assist in the investigation to come forward. This tragic incident has left the community in shock as residents and local authorities work together to find answers. The police have reaffirmed their commitment to solving the case and ensuring justice is served.
Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett says every effort is being made to resolve matters affecting tourism workers. He was responding to issues being raised by tourism workers at various hotels across Jamaica. Minister Bartlett says he will be meeting with tourism workers over the next few weeks to ensure that entities meet with them to resolve the areas of dispute.
I will be out there with you all during the next weeks and so to make sure that the commitment that we are getting from our employers to have these consultations are met and that the solutions are found.
Minister Bartlett points out that there are 196 entities that employ workers in the tourism industry, each having their own system of management, cost arrangement, and employment contract arrangement. As such, he says resolution to the issues affecting workers must be found in a unified way.
And so we have all determined that every single entity must meet with their staff and have discussions with regards to any issue that is now obtaining. And so we urge that that happens, and also that we bring a level of normalcy back to our operation, but more importantly, that we recognize that solutions are not had when we are poles apart. They are only had when we are together.
The tourism minister is assuring workers in the sector that they are appreciated. Assurance has been given that the school safety policy will be finalized in short order. It comes on the heels of recent shootings within school proximity, the latest being on Friday, resulting in the death of a bus driver outside the gates of the Homewood Technical High School. Minister of Education, Skills, Youth and Information, Senator Dr. Dana Morris Dixon, made the disclosure during a visit to the school on Monday. She says her team is working closely with the Ministry of National Security to implement robust security protocols across all schools in Jamaica.
And in addition to that, the discussions around penalties for crimes that take place on a school compound or near a school or involving our children have to be expedited.
Dr. Morris Dixon also expressed deep empathy for the school community, acknowledging the traumatic impact of the incident.
It is not fair to any of you to have witnessed what you witnessed on Friday and to be in the kind of mourning that you are in this morning. And we really have to commit to not letting this happen.
According to Minister Morris Dixon, the authorities have made significant progress in the investigation with the arrest of several individuals and seizure of a vehicle related to the crime. Meanwhile, the Education Ministry has mobilized a team to provide critical support to students, staff, and the broader Homewood Technical School community. The team includes school leaders, regional safety officers, education officers, guidance counselors, and social workers. The Department of Correctional Services, DCS, has suspended visits to adult and juvenile correctional institutions across the island for 2 weeks until December 2. The notice was released on Monday following confirmed cases of the influenza H1N1 virus at the St. Catherine Adult Correctional Center and the Tower Street Adult Correctional Center. According to the DCS, the precautionary measure is necessary to prevent further spread of the virus and to safeguard the health and safety of inmates and staff within the facilities. It says the situation is being monitored closely and that it is working with relevant ministries and agencies to manage and contain the spread of the virus. Updates regarding the resumption of visits and any additional measures will be communicated as necessary. 3 civil servants were recognized for their exceptional contributions to the public sector at the Civil Servants of the Year and People's Choice Awards held last Friday. The event was jointly hosted by the government and First Heritage Cooperative Credit Union. The top honorees include Andre Allen, Manager for Computer Services at the Jamaica Information Service, who won the Civil Servant of the Year award in the managerial category. Barbara Williams Riley, Field Supervisor at the Statistical Institute of Jamaica, topped the mid-managerial category. And Jaron Bonsfeather, Psychiatric Nursing Aide at the Ministry of Health and Wellness, was the winner for the Technical Support category. Adding to the event's accolades, Veronica Miller-Richards, Regional Health Records Administrator at the Ministry of Health and Wellness, clinched the coveted People's Choice Award. Minister of Finance and the Public Service, Favor Williams, lauded the honorees and all public servants for their dedication and professionalism.
Our civil servants embody the values of integrity, empathy, professionalism, and a profound commitment to service, ensuring that our public service functions smoothly, equitably, and with the interests of every Jamaican at heart. It is through this dedication that together as a country, we become more powerful.
Civil Servant of the Year award recipient in the managerial category, Andre Allen, encouraged public servants to remain dedicated to nation building.
Together through our dedication, creativity, and teamwork, we can contribute to something far greater and create a flood of progress, innovation, and transformation for our beloved country.
Persons are being encouraged to participate in activities scheduled in observance of Local Government and Community Month. The month is being observed under the theme, Local Government at Work, Facing the Future Together. The activities are being held by the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development and are geared towards expanding and strengthening people's knowledge about local governance. Chief among these is a Local Government Expo on November 20 at the National Indoor Sports Center. The event will showcase interactive booths, displays, and demonstrations from all agencies under the ministry's purview, as well as the Earthquake Unit. A local government cook-off competition will take place on November 29 at Pearly Beach in St. Anne. Persons can visit the ministry's website and social media pages for more information on activities scheduled for the remainder of the month.
The Elliston Road Police have launched an investigation into the death of a man whose body was discovered along the Palisadoes main road in Kingston on Monday evening. The deceased is described as being of dark complexion, slim build, and approximately 5 feet 11 inches tall. At the time of discovery, he was clad only in a multicolored shirt. Meanwhile, the police are appealing to the public for help in identifying him. According to reports, around 6 p.m., passers-by stumbled upon the body and promptly notified the police. Upon arrival, law enforcement officers found the body lying face down on the roadway. The scene was processed, and the body was later transported to the morgue for further examination. The Elliston Road Police are urging anyone with information that could assist in their investigation to come forward. Residents are also encouraged to stay vigilant and report any suspicious activity in the area. Further updates will be provided as the investigation unfolds.
So have you ever paid for something and then when you get home, you remember that you left it at the store? And then when you think, let me go back and pick it up, you're like, boy, it's just so far away and I can't be bothered. Well, that's how most Jamaicans feel every month after they pay their National Housing Trust, knowing full well that they're paying for this thing, but that the opportunity or even trying to access a loan from the NHT or even an NHT home is they just can't be bothered. Because by the time they overcome certainly all the hurdles to get something from the NHT, them both broke and them tired. So earlier this year, I wrote an article on the National Housing Trust entitled Building Cash, Not Housing, which discussed the basis of the NHT's inadequate performance. Yeah, inadequate, and I'm going to step on some corns here, but it's fine. So simply put, the mandate of the National Housing Trust was established in 1976, and it was a brilliant idea by then Prime Minister Michael Manley to provide affordable housing to most of our populace. And funding this entity came from a 2% tax from Jamaican employees and a 3% tax from every Jamaican employer. But nearly 50 years later, the data that I've looked through suggests that the NHT has been quite inefficient and ineffective in delivering its mandate. And I want you to stay with me because I'm going to quote some statistics and you need to just pay attention. Now, according to the Ministry of Finance and Planning, for the financial year ending 2024, the NHT collected in income Jamaican $43 billion in income. Yeah, that's what it collected in income. And here's what they spent in their operating expenses. They spent close to $13 billion, actually $12.946 billion in operating the entity. Now, these figures are shocking. And when I saw them, it blew my mind, as the average number of housing completions by the National Housing Trust from 2018 to 2022 is only 2,157 per annum annually. And you can check the Economic and Social Survey of Jamaica for 2022 to see some of those stats further. Included in these figures that I looked at, the housing, NHT says, yeah, it does some housing completions, and those were what they did in 2022. But they do other things like build on your own land, lot solutions. They talk about guaranteed purchase programs. They do individual loan solutions. They do joint ventures, and they do NHT project solutions. But what is clear is that not all of these solutions stated by them are actually livable, finished dwellings. Moreover, based on the administrative costs, you see, when a homeowner even gets a mortgage loan of approximately $12 million from the NHT, half of the money comprises the organization administrative costs. That's about 50% of that money when you aggregate everything. Now, when you look at the NHT's accounts, they generated a surplus of $21.8 billion for the financial year 2023-2024. Now, with an employed labor force in Jamaica of about 1.27 million people, the NHT is delivering less than 0.18% of houses or housing completions for our working population. 0.18% of houses or housing completions. So the truth is, instead of building houses for our people, the NHT is actually taking a percentage of workers' and employers' salaries to build cash in the bank. And this approach by the NHT is untenable and contrary to its original mission. Yet each year, they embark on what I call a promotional display of misinformation, because they reported to Parliament earlier this year that they intend to start about 15,000 new housing solutions for this financial year. And when I heard it, I said, or when I read it, I said, this must be imagined. Because in the same report that they say this, they reported that they delivered only 1,627 solutions for 2023, and they've never exceeded 2,700 solutions annually since 2018. And go and check the Jamaica Public Bodies report of 2024 to 2025 to see that information. And I should also mention that these small, unimpressive deliverable statistics come with NHT executives making substantial salaries. Over 13 of their executives are earning above $16 million in annual salaries. The managing director is earning $34.2 million. The finance director, $22 million. The construction and development director, $21.6 million. The corporate services person is earning $22.1 million. The SGM customer relations person is $22.79 million. And the GM for the company secretariat is $19.4 million. And you can just pull up the National Housing Trust 2023 annual report to look at those salary structures. So the executive salaries alone by these executives represent over $122,000 per unit they delivered on average from 2018 to 2022, and over $161,000 per unit for the 1,627 they reported to deliver in the last financial year. Now, it blows my mind because I say, well, you know, other countries, their national social housing programs actually, give their people houses. And it's a far more effective program that they have. And I know people don't like when you use Singapore as a basis point for judging Jamaica, but let me use them, and here's why. They have a vision because they say owning a home is a public housing is a right for every one of their citizens. It's enshrined in their policy. And so for their population of 5.6 million in Singapore, their social housing has delivered over 1 million units spread across close to 25 towns and 3 estates, giving a home to over 80% of Singapore's resident population. Because their government says, look, you know, we have a mandate because it is a right of their citizens to own somewhere and to have a roof over their head. And it is their mandate in to provide housing. And they look at the whole spectrum of needs for the optimal living of their citizen, including the environment, including the continual process to create an innovative and sustainable community or communities. And it's an ongoing process for them. And, you know, when I looked at the public housing board reports of Singapore, I want us to start paying attention this way, right? Because nothing creates more value in an economy than agriculture and construction. And you know, this is what I believe. So in addition to providing much needed housing and improving the dignity of home ownerships, it would grow the economy and give all Jamaicans a sense of peace. Because guess what? You see, when a Jamaican owns somewhere, they can pass it down to the generations coming behind them. There's nothing better than someone knowing and having peace of mind that they have a roof over their head, that they can turn their own key because they own it. And let me tell you something. It is your mandate to make sure that every single Jamaican who pays their National Housing Trust actually has somewhere. You should be out there tapping into every Jamaican and saying, come and let me show you how you can own somewhere. That's your mandate, NHT. That's what we pay you to do. That is why it is young people who are trying to own a home, domestic helpers who throw them little money once a week, right? Their employees might not pay for it for them, but they do it. And them can't own somewhere in this day and age. And you have all of these special programs. I've met too many people who tell me all the different things that they have to go through. You shouldn't be operating like a commercial bank. That's not your mandate. Your mandate is a national social housing program, but you've lost the way. And so I'm hoping that you will find, the NHT will find this moment to start listening again, acting with courage to do things differently. And yeah, if you want to go back and read some of the articles that I've written on housing and given solutions, do that. You can click the link. I've been writing them for over 3 years. But I want the NHT to hear what I'm saying, because the time is now. You have too many Jamaicans that are there that cannot afford homes. And it is your mandate, not private contractors. It is your mandate to make sure that they can own a home. That's what you were established to do in 1976. And so I look forward to more housing completions by you, not starts, for this financial year.